Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will share with you a current profit update on the buy and hold strategy versus the KuCoin Infinity Gridbot strategy. Now, if you missed that original setup video, first of all, you might want to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. But with that being said, back in January, just over 4 months ago, I bought $500 worth of BTC with the objective of just holding and waiting for BTC's price to appreciate, and then at the same time I set up and deployed an Infinity Gridbot with 500 USDT. And the mission of that Gridbot was basically to buy low and sell high. And so at the end of the day, we could compare the two strategies and try to determine which one would perform the best over the long run. So that's enough jaw-jacking. Let's get into the numbers. So if we jump over here to my main account, we can find that 500 BTC that I bought and am currently holding in my main account. So if I give that a click, and that will pull up the funds available in the main account. Now the main account is not a trading account, so these funds do not get touched at all unless I transfer them over to a trading account. Well, you can see BTC, the amount I actually bought was 0.011700066. That is the $500 worth of BTC that I bought back in January, just over 4 months ago. It is no longer worth $500. As you can see now, it is worth around $347. So Bitcoin has been selling off pretty much ever since January, and thus my buy and hold position has been decreasing in value ever since. And in fact, this position is off about 30%. So it's essentially down 30% since I first purchased BTC just over 4 months ago back in January. Now, let's take a look at how the Gridbot is performing. So in order to do that, I come up here to Trade, click on Trading Bot, and that will pull up the screen that allows you to configure bots over here on KuCoin, but I want to jump over here to the bots I actually already have running. So if I give that a click, you can see that I have the Infinity Gridbot, which has been running for 102 days. Now, if you do the math, that doesn't actually add up to just over 4 months. And the reality is, after the first 30 days of this challenge, the KuCoin Infinity Gridbot I had deployed had locked up and was no longer making any trades. So I had to shut that bot down and redeploy a new bot about 30 days into the challenge. And that's why we're short on the runtime for this particular Gridbot. There was an additional about 30 days on top of this 102. And so in reality, I have had an Infinity Gridbot running the same amount of time as the buy and hold strategy. And if you doubt the numbers, well, you probably missed all the update videos I have done over the last few months, so you might want to go back and check those videos out. Now, you will also notice that the initial investment for this Gridbot is $512. That is because when I shut the original Gridbot down that had locked up, it was up $12. And so when I shut it down, I did capture $12 in profit. So I basically just reinvested the $500 initial investment plus the $12 profit. And so ever since then, this bot has been operating with an initial investment of $512 because I had to shut that original Gridbot down. Now, before we get into the results for the Infinity Gridbot, I do want to point out that the parameters when I redeployed the new Gridbot actually were pretty much the same, if not almost to the dollar for the entry price. It just happened to work out that 30 days later, the Bitcoin price was pretty much at the same exact price. And again, you can go back and watch previous update videos and see that it all does sync up. And so my entry price on this Gridbot is $42,726. And that is approximately the same price I bought $500 worth of USDT at. And then as far as the minimum price or how low this Gridbot will continue to buy if the price continues to drop is 18,500. And because it's an Infinity Gridbot, there is no upper price that the bot won't go up to because it will basically follow the price to infinity. And then the profit rate per grid that I set was 1%. And if we jump over here to the open orders tab for this Gridbot, you can see I have 10 open limit buy orders and 10 open limit sell orders. The amount of BTC I hold is 0.00878,385, and I also hold around 172 USDT, and this position is obviously required in order to fill these open limit buy orders. And if we jump over here to the order history, this bot is executing both buy and sell orders, so it is performing exactly how I would expect it to perform, and so this bot is still good to go. Now, the reason we're all here is how is this bot actually performing, and so far the total profits, or in this case loss, is just around $79. But you have to remember we have $12 worth of profit, and so you would subtract the initial $12 profit we had in that first month from this negative $79, and that would put us at a loss of around $67, or a current loss of just around 13.5%. So if we compare the two strategies, right now the KuCoin Infinity Gridbot is definitely winning the battle. It's down 13.5% versus the buy and hold strategy, which is down 30%. And so we are in a bear market right now, and currently the KuCoin Infinity Gridbot, while it is in a negative position, it is certainly outperforming a buy and hold strategy even in this bear market. Now, it will be interesting to see in the future, it could be a while in the future, how the Infinity Gridbot performance during the bear market helps it outperform the buy and hold strategy in a bull market. And so with that being said, I will continue to do update videos, so now would be a good time to shoot that subscribe button. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I will drop a link to KuCoin in the description down below. And until next time, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.